Listen. You smell something?
On to your butt.
The battle of wits has begun.
Take your
Life,
sticking paws off me,
finds a way.
damn dirty ape!
Hello there.
This is Sparta!
You're a wizard.
Yes, they deserve this. I hope they burn in hell!
Take a big step back and literally
Fuck your own face!
Do or do not. There is no try.
Beetlejuice.
You ever dance with the devil in the bed?
I'm your huckleberry.
Beetlejuice.
Thinking what I'm thinking, bro.
Hallelujah!
Aim for the bushes.
Holy shit!
That doesn't make sense.
Where's the
I
Tylenol?
believe the common denominator of the universe is not harmony,
I
but
decided
chaos,
to
hostility, and murder.
press the turn on camera button.
Oh, I did too, man. I was all up in that button.
This morning on Sensual Tech Talk. How do you turn on your camera?
Technology that fucks.
Me, I like to gently caress the power button on my camera to turn it on.
See, mine's got this little, like, switch where I twist it like you would do a nice nipple. And it just clicks right there at the spot. I'm sure Jen's like, what the fuck are these morons talking about?
I was about to say hi, Jen. Good morning.
Mark says hi.
Hi, puppies.
And hello to the puppy. You can see Lydia sitting right there.
Yeah.
Why is she a bad dog?
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. Let's see. What did you send? A picture. Keith, can you not hear me?
I'll be right back. I need
Roger
to I need to tuck Shelby in.
Make sure you do the soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Sasha Biggs. Sasha. Oh, Sasha. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Sasha came in, said hello.
Sweet. Sweet. That sweet Sasha hellos.
Did you sing the Sheldon Sleepy song?
Yeah.
I don't know if Keith's coming. Sounds like he's asleep. He hasn't responded yet.
Let's see. Yes. Well, let's get started. And if he wants to join us, he'll join us, I guess.
Excellent. Yeah, I've got quite a bit, considering I didn't do last week's.
Yeah, a few things to talk about.
Well, welcome to Pop Culture Kick, where Keith is absent again. And we twist on buttons like we twist nipples. Straight to the point. I'm Nick Zilla. I didn't hear a word you said. Your little box didn't light up.
And I'm Mark Becker,
There you go. All right.
renamed Midnight Death.
Midnight Death. So, Marvel, remember we talked about that Iron Man game coming out?
Yeah, the one that I'm real excited for.
Yeah, so excited for. Um, it'll actually probably be pretty good if it's based off that other game. But Marvel and EA signed a 3-game deal with each other, starting with Iron Man. So there's gonna be 2 more like big AAA blockbuster games coming. On top of Sony has the exclusive Wolverine game coming.
Nice. Well, I mean, that's a double-edged sword, right? For that. Obviously, it's only 3-game contract, which is good for Marvel because, obviously, we've talked about it in the past. EA tends to pretty much kill everything they touch. Hopefully, that's not the case in this instance, but, obviously that remains to be seen until the release of these video games.
Yeah.
Didn't hear about the Wolverine game, though.
Yeah, the
So I'm
Wolverine
kinda
announcement
curious
was a while ago. One of the studios that's making it is like exclusive to Sony. But I think EA's been learning a lot of lessons over the last few years with the fact that a lot of their games are no longer like critically received. The sales are going down, the reviews are going down. And they're gonna have to do something. I mean, they have the Star Wars license and haven't really
done
amazing with that.
Battlefront 2 debacle that they had going on.
They had that one really good game come out recently, but I think that was Double Fine that made that one for EA, and they gave Double Fine. They're big enough to where they said, "Hey, you got full control." EA didn't step in on that one.
Yeah. And that's good, and that's kind of that's what publishers need to learn to do is to give those studios, those developers time and the control to do that. Sure, give notes and stuff like that, and obviously expectations that you're looking for one of these big games. But don't be surprised when when those developers are like, nah, we won't do that, right? Like, we don't think that's appropriate for this game, or we don't think that that's just appropriate for the gaming community. Because, sure, EA says that they've learned lessons and stuff like that from the past, but it remains to be seen because there's a lot of lessons that the industry as a whole haven't learned yet.
Yeah, and the
like releasing broken games, releasing games that aren't ready.
Yeah, that requires
that's not just EA.
No,
that's a shit ton. I think there's very few game developers and game publishers that have even said that they're willing to wait, to release a game until it's finished. And like the only one of note that I can really think of is Rockstar.
Yeah. And you get a pre-download if you do the digital, and you're like, all right, this is going to be awesome. You wait till midnight for that game to release, and you're all excited, and then bam, 60 gig update, day one patch. You can't even play the game.
60 gig update, day one patch, and you're like, yeah. Can't wait to download this 60 gig update.
And it's, Microsoft does this with their studios. They acquired all of them, and they said, hey, we're putting them all under our hat. We're here for resource sharing. Now you got these 2 studios who in the world naturally wouldn't really communicate with each other. Now they're all underneath the umbrella. They can all talk and share technology and, give them time, power, and resources to make the best games they can without overreach. Obviously they still have to report.
Yeah.
but there's going to be very little time crunch, which is a problem with the industry, which is why we get unfinished games. It's bad for that work-life balance. And then,
Well, yeah, I mean, some of these people like just get mentally trashed.
Oh, yeah.
whenever they have to go through these big crunches to push a game out as soon as they can.
Exactly.
Yes, burnout in that industry is very common.
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, that whole Sony complaining about Microsoft having exclusives with this Activision deal. Even though Phil Spencer still, like, on every talk show he's been going on, has been like, we will not be making it exclusive. It will always be on PlayStation. It will always. Yeah. We're even trying to figure out how to get it on Switch, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And Sony's still like, it's not fair. They're still trying to make it exclusive. And so, like, one of the commissioners over in Europe, the people that are supposed to be checking the competitive thing, right? That they're the ones who are holding this up right now.
Yeah.
He tweeted, he's like, yeah, it's a real problem if I can't have, like, Call of Duty on my PlayStation or something like that. And, like, that tweet just lit that dude up, man, because everyone's like, oh, my PlayStation, huh? So now I know why you're holding this whole thing up.
Yeah.
He's not showing that impartialism.
Yep. Yeah. And also Modern Warfare 2 still doesn't have hardcore mode in their multiplayer.
No, I think I'm wondering if because this Wednesday's when they launch the DMZ. Yeah, well, this Wednesday they launched DMZ and Warzone, and it's supposed to be a big update. So I wonder if they're going to have the server browser.
Oh, right, yeah,
right, because that's how we usually got to hardcore, was through the server browser.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's still. Dude, I mean, that's just indicative, again, of another unfinished game. And then, they put out, like, here's the problem, right? They put out a game, in certain modes and certain features and stuff like that aren't released on day one. That's going to make the game boring as shit for people who are looking for those things.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Well, I mean, and think about it.
We only play hardcore mode. We don't, I don't fucking touch regular core.
Yeah, I don't want the mini map. I want my 50 cal sniper bullet to kill a guy with one shot.
Yeah, I want my bullets to actually work. I don't want to have to empty an entire fucking magazine in somebody and they still.
And then they turn around and hit you with one shot from a shotgun and kill you. Had that happen the other day. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so Warzone and DMZ, which I'm excited for DMZ. So this is like what, less than a month after the launch of the game, or a month after? Why didn't they just delay the game a month, polish up some more shit, and then release it complete with all this stuff instead of saying, "Oh, hey, by the way, in a couple of months you'll get this." I mean, it's what look what Halo did. Halo did the same thing. Halo's been out for over a year, and we just got the update like last week for Forge and for multiplayer online, like
whole fucking year.
The campaign co-op and other features. It's been a whole fucking year.
Yeah,
I mean, I get
Everybody's
it. You guys
playing it, right?
Yeah,
nobody's playing it anymore. Everybody's like moved on. Everybody, like the big crowds and all that shit.
That's the problem.
Have moved on to the next AAA game.
I mean, Battlefield was the same way, right? Everyone left Battlefield when that game came out because it was just fucked up.
EA, bro. EA.
And then they fixed it a year later, right? 9 months later, the game's like, holy shit, this game's actually really good now.
It's irrelevant.
And so they're bringing people back to it, but then Call of Duty drops, and all of a sudden their shit goes. Yeah. Like, that's 9 months you could have like ingrained these people and had them in the progression system and the season battle passes and all this stuff that you've failed now to gather and keep
and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. It's a problem and it's annoying.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Because I mean, we're still in the gaming sphere, but did you hear about that new Xbox handheld device?
Is that the one that Logitech's making?
The Logitech G Cloud.
Yeah, so it's a yes. It's allows you to do all the streaming stuff through it.
Right.
It's like
so
a
you could
Steam Deck, but for Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. So, it lets you go in, lets you, log in your Xbox, um, you know, account, and you can play. Yeah, you can stream any of the games that are like, streaming games. Which, if you have the Game Pass, then
The
they
streaming's
pretty much
nice.
all.
You don't have
That's
to,
all
if there's a game in there you want to play or try out, you don't have to wait the 20, 30 minutes to download 40 gigs. You can just stream it straight through your Xbox, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I think it's got
Also-
the ability to play off of your, like if you're in the house on the same Wi-Fi, I want to say that's how it works. You can play what's on your Xbox on there. So like Call of Duty and stuff, which isn't a streaming game, but it'll actually log into your Xbox and it will play the game remotely through there, which I've done on some games and it does work. I've played Call of Duty the old couple years ago when that first came out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it looks like, it's boasting, some really cool stuff, like 12-hour battery life. It's supposed to be like super lightweight.
Yeah, it's non-cellular though, so you'll have to have your hotspot on your phone, or be somewhere with Wi-Fi.
You have to have Wi-Fi somewhere, but yeah. But that's the thing. Like nowadays, shit, you can get. I know, like for my truck, I can pay for a fucking Wi-Fi plan for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, mom and dad have it in theirs.
Yeah. So Wi-Fi nowadays is everywhere.
Yeah, my phone's got unlimited Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah. My phone. Yeah, I could use my phone as a hotspot too. So so yeah, that's pretty exciting. Seeing a handheld for Xbox.
Handhelds have always people have always wanted them. The PS Vita did okay. That was really popular.
The PSP really did.
Yeah.
The PSP did huge.
I loved my PSP, dude.
Before that, you had the only thing you had was Game Boy.
Yeah, Nintendo. Well, Nintendo's always had the handheld system. They've done it right. They know how to do it. They've maintained it.
PSP really broke out. PSP was huge when that came out for somewhat for a company other than Nintendo. PSP was huge.
Yeah, I remember playing, dude. They had a Killzone game on there and Dragon Ball Z Budokai fighting game. That was, oh man, I fucking love that game. It was cool. And then you had the movies. They buy movies on little PSP cartridges.
Yeah. I was playing a lot of Madden on my PSP also.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was when I got heavily into Madden. So Logitech G Cloud Gaming handheld device. Estimated price about $350.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was about 300 or so $350. It's a Logitech, so we know that at least the parts in it will be pretty good. They're not going cheap on it.
Yeah. Logitech's always been a pretty good name in quality for computer peripherals and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have their entry level shit, and then they have their good shit, their top tier.
Yeah, they have. You're all right. You could get mechanical keyboards and stuff like that. Logitech's high end mechanical keyboards are awesome. Not not their low ends, their high end stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's cool, man. I play. Actually, I do the Xbox stuff on my tablet. I'll connect my controller with the Bluetooth, the Elite controller.
Yeah.
To my tablet, and I'll sit on the couch and play and shit. But having a handheld maybe even more convenient than having to have my tablet.
For when you're on the go, right?
Heck yeah. All right, cool.
You know, when you're out there, you know, burying a body out in the Everglades and, you know, feeding the fucking alligators and shit. And, you know, you take your little Logitech G Cloud with you,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
play a few rounds of Call of Duty or, you know, build some stuff in Minecraft while you're
Play some Prison
getting rid
Architect.
of the evidence. Play some Prison Architects.
Get used to developing a crime enterprise inside the prison.
Right, yep. Start strategizing for how you're going to do your fucking 25 to life. Who you got?
All right, so one last. Well, we already talked about this. I was gonna say the winter update for Halo Infinite is out.
Right, yeah.
Brings Forge and all that stuff, new maps.
Yeah.
So
A year after the fact.
yeah, I mean it. Clearly, they had some issues going on, much bigger issues that we didn't know about because that game was supposed to be out over a year ago, and people bombed it when it came out. The look of it, so they delayed it a year. Then we got so technically the game's 2 years ago it's supposed to be out.
People are gonna bomb an unfinished game when you release an unfinished game.
And then they say, "Oh, hey, by the way, we're not going to do couch co-op. We're cutting that out of the game." And they're like, "Well, wait a minute. You've been talking about couch co-op for this whole time, for years.
Right,
That's what Halo's known for. A bunch of people getting controllers and playing on the TV."
Oh, you mean like, you know, the thing that you're like fucking well known for?
Yeah, they cut that out. I mean, so it's, you know, they actually had a bunch of the people from 343 like leave. Like they're just like,
dude, like,
yeah,
Halo. I mean, yeah, it's fucking dumb.
And to me, you know, Halo's like one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
Man, I got Halo shit everywhere. I got the fucking tattoo of Halo. The campaign was good. You know, I'm hoping for another expansion. They're talking about it, but it's going to be another year or two until we get that because they're still playing catch up on all the shit that was supposed to be out. They got game modes they still haven't released. They've got, I mean, just so many updates. So, yeah, I'll be patient. It's a long form on this one, long tail.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a fucking disease in the gaming industry that needs to fucking go away.
Yeah, and I think that's why Microsoft changed a lot of their, you know, a lot of their stuff that they talk about now with these studios and these games.
Microsoft bimbos.
Is they're saying, hey, you know, we're giving them the time, the money, and the stuff to finish the games and get them complete because they got bent over and raked through on this one. I mean, bad. Yeah. Halo is their biggest franchise for Microsoft. Yeah, that is Xbox. Yeah, exactly.
We've talked about this before. The Xbox would have never taken off like it did without Halo.
You know, and then they messed it up. You know, so they have to eat some crow on that.
Not be the third largest fucking, you know, gaming fucking console in the fucking world without fucking Halo.
No. All right. So since I already went over that, let's do this.
Okay, let's do this.
The Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey movie.
Winneth the Pooh, yeah, I remember.
Right, the one where Christopher Robin leaves them, so they get mad and turn into cannibalistic killers. Yeah. It's actually getting a limited theatrical release.
Hell yeah. I was hoping like Alamo Draft House or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like that. It's gonna be like an artisan night for like indie movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like Alamo because they do that type of stuff where they'll pick up like, you know, indie films and stuff like that and give them all, you know, at least as wide a distribution as they can get it.
Yeah, you know, racking as much money over like the one weekend they're allowed to play or something.
Yeah.
But there's also more.
There's more.
They have a Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare that those people are also making.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah, so they're
well, you know,
having fun with
funny it. It's funny for that because if you kind of think about it, like Peter Pan itself, even just like the original fucking story, is kind of a nightmare fucking scenario.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have this fucking adult who's like, you think about it, like, right, like Peter Pan's an adult that doesn't want to grow up, and he fucking abducts these children, takes them fucking to Neverland,
I like the story of there was one that I watched where it was
It's fucked up.
where Hook was the good guy, like he's trying to save the children.
He's trying to unkidnap these
Yeah,
children.
he's trying to take them
rescue
back
the
on his
children
ship and taking them back home
from this man-child,
this adult that's thinks he's a kid that's kidnapping other children.
It's pretty, I mean, it's pretty fucking sinister if you think about it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool concept where Hulk, where Hook was the good guy trying to save the kids from Pan, and Pan's like attacking him and shit.
You know, like you see that even in like, the big franchises, right? You see that like in Maleficent, where they kind of twist things, kind of turn things around, and they make the bad guy like a sympathetic type of
Disney's
person.
got a whole book series out now that that are like sequels of a lot of these things.
Yeah. Oh, same thing with like Wicked, right? The award-winning fucking Broadway, musical.
Won all the awards.
Yeah.
They're making that into a movie.
I saw it. I mean, it was fucking amazing. It was amazing production.
Someone's actually making it
all
into a movie. I don't remember who it was though.
Nice. Yeah.
So, yep.
So word. Yeah. More.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Well, and don't forget December 5th or 11th or something, we get the Grinch.
Yeah, we get that free Grinch.
Oh yeah.
And
then did you see the oh man. I had a whole bunch of trailers to watch.
Freedom isn't free.
Did you see that Christmas one with what's his face from Stranger Things? He played Hellboy. What's his name? Harbour.
No, I'm not
David
Harbour.
Oh,
I haven't.
So he plays Santa, right? Like the real Santa, magic,
Okay.
King, going up the fucking chimney and shit.
Snorting cocaine?
No nose candy. So he.
I mean, how do you think Santa does it, bro?
he's on angel dust all night.
he's got 12 hours of darkness. He's got 12 hours of night to fucking deliver presents to all the kids all around the world.
So he's
smoking that meth, bro.
So in this one,
he's smoking meth and popping Adderalls.
He goes to this. He gets this call from this girl that's like calling for Santa for help because they're being like robbed by these people. And so Santa shows up, right, and he's fucking just it turns into a bloody just mess.
Is it like Santa John Wick shit?
Oh yeah, dude, it's full on Santa John Wick. Like this dude goes to
Santa, they're taking my presents.
This guy goes to stab Santa, and he lifts up the toy bag, and his hand disappears inside the bag and comes out with a present on it and shit. Like it's all magical. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "You're on the naughty list." He bashes his face in.
Kills him with a book.
Oh, dude, he's walking on the roof. The trailer's hilarious. He's walking on
does that one-handed fucking chamber check that fucking Keanu Reeves does and shit.
Right. He's walking on the roof and he steps in deer shit and he turns around and he's like, "Prancer, unprofessional," as he's got blood dripping down his face. Anyway, man, that trailer looks good. I don't know.
I wish Keith was here.
Yeah, Keith usually does all the fucking video stuff, so that way we don't have to mess up these things. Let me see if I can text him again.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of trailers.
Well, let's.
But we can keep going.
Yeah, we can keep going too. You throw on a trailer every now and then. So, bad news for animated series fans.
Batman fans.
Especially Batman fans. Kevin Conroy passed away.
He is a lot of people's favorite Batman. Like,
Batman the animated series, when we were kids, was like huge. It's
yeah.
a big thing, and probably still one of the best animated series of all time.
Oh, dude, that at the time when cartoons were like, Goof Troop and Aladdin and shit, you had this like dark noir Batman that came in, Paul Dini and these guys that made this, and you had Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill's the fucking Joker, like he's still like today, like even Mask of the Phantasm movie, which is deemed as one of the best Batman movies ever.
Yeah.
Every Comic-Con, actually, I just saw him when I was at that last Comic-Con I was at in San Antonio. He was there.
He was there?
Yeah.
Damn.
And he's been battling cancer. I think it was a short battle because he just found out. But he was a hero to a lot of people when it came to voice acting. He's known as Batman, the best Batman. His lines were always long. Everyone loved Kevin Conroy when he was there. And he struggled a lot too. He said, I don't remember who it was that came out, but when he came out as like openly gay, he thought it was going to be the end of his career at that time because he didn't feel comfortable about it. And so there was somebody that came out or it was in like a book or something. And honestly, I had no clue he was gay until I saw this. It showed like all these famous actors of like people you didn't know were gay or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking Batman. I said, we had a gay Batman. No wonder why he
really
hires all
matter
those
to
little
you?
kids.
Did it like make you less of a fan because Kevin Conroy was gay? No.
No, it has nothing to do with the fucking power of his Batman voice at all. But I know that he was
funny though. That would be funny though if they like actually had like a legit fucking gay Batman, like with a lisp and everything.
I remember what it was. I remember
the
what it was.
ambiguously gay duo.
Yeah. It was in Pride Month. They released a Batman. DC released a book. Like they had all these stories written by different characters that followed different things. Yeah. And Kevin Conroy. I think he did one of those stories for that.
Okay. Which is important. I mean,
it was a big deal for him. Big deal,
and that's an important, very important thing, right? For that community.
Yeah, he penned a story for Batman, in this Pride Month book, and for him that was a very, very powerful thing for him, and for a lot of people. I mean, we talk about it all the time, where. Usually it's more on the negative of people getting upset because they kill a gay character.
Right.
Not because the character's gay, it's just that's what the story was calling for, right? Make that clarification. let's make that clear.
Yeah, exactly. They're not killing the character because they're gay. They're killing the character because it makes sense for that character. And of course it's obviously, if it's a beloved character or something like that, like Captain America. Remember back when they killed fucking Captain America?
Yeah.
In the comic books, like they did it, because he's a beloved character, and that's gonna shock and it's gonna, hit people emotionally. Oh, that's cool.
It's you see the surfboard? It's the Corpus Christi Comic-Con.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
Oh, it's a Corpus Christi Comic-Con pin.
Yeah.
Hey, I know the guy that puts on that show. That's the one where you played Wolverine, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's the one I did. Wolverine.
Yeah, I know the guy who puts on the show. He met us up at San Antonio, and he's like, "Here you go. Here's a pin from my last show." Anyway, sorry, I had a squirrel moment. But yeah, I agree. And does the fact that he was gay make it any different? No, he's still the best Batman voice out there. That I mean, his Batman was more true to a lot of Batman stuff than the movies were. So, he literally portrayed moving comic books.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely, he's going to be missed. I'll take a drink out of my Batman cup for that one. Because he was badass. I've met him several times, and he's just fucking cool, dude, man. every time he'd get blown away by the amount of people that would come to his line to get a picture of a cartoon that he didn't draw, he didn't color, he didn't animate. He read a script into a microphone in an office, and he said it blows him away all the time. You know, people come up and say, "You are my Batman," which he's done it for fucking 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, he also did it. He also voiced him in some games too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done it's not just animated series. He's he's done.
He's played Batman in a lot of stuff.
A bunch of different media.
Yep. So,
comedian Gallagher also passed away.
yes, I saw that. All around the world, watermelons are rejoicing.
Yep. Save the watermelons.
Save the melons.
All of the melons are pardoned this Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Gallagher had some funny jokes, man.
Yeah.
He's a classic. He's been around for a long time too. Well, I don't know if he's been doing shows for like.
I don't think so. I think he
retired.
I think he retired a while back. But yeah, just got the news. They put out the news yesterday that Gallagher had passed away.
If you young whippersnappers don't know who Gallagher is, go YouTube him.
Yep.
And watch the melons. You'll know what I'm talking about. You are sitting in a splash zone. Oh shit!
What else we got?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm bummed about Conroy, man. That was surprising, just out of nowhere. Because I literally just saw him like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did you see that planet killer that they dubbed, that asteroid that they found that's sitting in like hiding in the glare of the sun?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Didn't hear about that.
there was this like over mile long asteroid that like snuck up into our solar system. It was hidden behind the sun, like as we were rotating. We didn't even see it coming.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, they're constantly finding shit like hidden in the sun, like that they didn't even know. Like they're like, oh fuck, what is that?
Well,
So, like they think there's a planet behind there.
Well, yeah, I mean, the sun is so bright and all that stuff that when you look in that direction, you know, with your naked eye, obviously all you see is the sun. They have to go to like other instruments and stuff like that, and other things that can go into the, you know, different light spectrums, or they're different wavelengths in the light spectrum to be able to pick out these other things that are near or behind and around the sun.
Yeah, did you see that they think that there's, well, not that they think, but there's a theory out there that there's actually another planet that's behind. And the reason that they think that is because at certain times off the side, you know, like you're talking about, they'll put on like not just infrared, but they'll have all those different filters where they can actually see the sun flares and shit.
Ultraviolet, they'll go through all like the non-visible spectrum wavelengths.
And you can see all the sun flares and all the spots and shit. But there's this one spot that's like off on the side of the sun where the light is distorting a little bit. And they think that that's it could be like a moon-sized planet that's behind the sun, that's always behind it for us. And we can only see that little, they think something's there because of the light distorting behind the sun of the stars. So, I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, we really don't know what the fuck's out there. I mean,
well, yeah, there's another one that actually I was going to talk about. Kind of in that same vein, NASA's approved a mission to explore Psyche. And they think that it's a core, like a very heavy metal, like dense core,
like an iron core,
of a possible planet, like a core of a planet that either might have been ripped apart previously or just never coalesced into a planet. So there's a mission in planning that NASA greenlit to go and explore that. So it might be able to mine some precious metals and heavy metals and stuff like that from that asteroid.
Well, I mean, that's what they've been talking about for a long time is, you know, because asteroids, they're big and, it's moving fast, but they still sit in our system for so long. as they slowly come around and whip out. So send a satellite out to it with a mining rig, remote mining rig, have it land on the asteroid, mine that shit, and then depart off and come back to Earth. I still think my sci-fi story, though, would be badass if we go into that with the, we overmine these fucking asteroids, increase the weight of the Earth too much, and now we start like fucking off tilt, causing some shit.
The only thing about it is I don't like when we do start mining these heavenly bodies and stuff like that. Most of those materials probably aren't going to be brought back to Earth. They're going to be used to form like a Dyson sphere or something around the sun in order to capture more energy from the sun that we're able to capture just naturally on its own with the sun rays coming towards Earth.
Yeah, I heard they were also talking about setting up a thing for the moon where they bring they start setting up like a production factory, so you can start, or I guess it'd be an orbit where they bring it in and it actually forges, creates the stuff, and then sends it down to the planet, to the moon, or maintaining a space station in orbit, and keeps making it. Yeah, let me call Keith if you want to take a quick little intermission.
All right.
I'm gonna call Keith and see if I can get him on, because I've got like 5 or 6 trailers that we can pull up.
All right. I'll be right back.
Copyright strike. Let's call Keith together.
Two, one,
Oh.
0.
He didn't answer. All right. I don't have anything to show you guys. I have a bat toy. I have Ecto. Wow, wow, wow. I have a Nazi coin. Camera's not going to pick it up, but because I have it set to focus at my length, but I need to set it for autofocus. But it's a 1938 5 Reichsmark coin. Not that I love Nazis. History. I love history. What else I got? I guess we'll go back to playing with the car. He's all dusty. Wrong. Ghostbusters. Let's see. I've got Godzilla. I painted this one. Check it out. All fucking metallic and shit. Get the evil eyes. It's all whited out. Been sitting up on my shelf for a little while. This one came out cool. Godzilla on my shoulder. He's attacking me. Bandai. Yeah, this one came out cool. I don't know where Keith is. Where is Keith? Let's try again. Let's call Keith. Rawr, 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 rawr. Boom. I guess Keith's not answering. I was sitting here playing with toys, man.
I friend no ghost.
I was entertaining our guests.
Did you get a hold of Keith?
Negative. I called twice, no answer.
Dang.
Oh man. All right.
Hope he's alive.
It's okay. We'll save. We can save trailers. Oh, you know what's about to drop? Doesn't it drop in
D's.
like 2 days or something? When does Wednesday come out? Does Wednesday come out Wednesday?
I don't remember.
I'll tell you what I do know that's
Anyway.
coming out that you will be watching because Shelby's going to be wanting to watch.
The Last of Us.
Oh, I saw that post. She was all excited. January 15th.
Yep, January 15th.
HBO.
The Last of Us will be coming out. November 23rd is
23rd.
going to be
10 days from now.
The Wednesday series. Yep.
All right. The
November 23.
Last of Us looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friday the 13th is coming to Peacock, to Universal.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
So I don't know if you remember there's a big like lawsuits and all this stuff over all these old horror fans with things, which is why we haven't had, a Jason movie in a while. We haven't had a Freddy Krueger movie in a while.
Yeah.
So the rights revert back after a certain amount of time to the original creators.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the guy who made the first one, where the mom was the killer, not Jason. Jason was the little boy that was drowned in that one. The original creator regained those rights back. They've been in a lawsuit fight because he wants to maintain the name Friday the 13th and the whole franchise because he created it. And the guy who created the other one with the hockey mask is saying, well, no, I'm the one who created this Jason. So
Jason, right.
So
see, you have the Jason, and then you have Friday
the 13th. Yeah.
Right.
They've split it. So movies and video games and all the other media is still a jumbled spaghetti mess of legal shit. TV shows, on the other hand, they found that they can get away with. And so here's what they're doing. So Peacock is releasing a Friday the 13th show. Each season is going to follow and essentially remake each of the movies so that way he will maintain all of them. So season 1 will be the first movie. Right? Season 2 will be the second movie. And they're just going to they're going to retell the story in a long form, probably 8 episodes or so.
And that's that series is being done. I mean, like obviously Peacock, but that series is the original Friday the 13th creator. Right?
Yes, the original, the guy who wrote the story,
based on that one.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So he said in a comment, he says, if we're lucky enough and we get to a season 10. He said, God damn it, Jason's going to fucking space. Because Jason X was when he was in space. He said, I will make that shit happen if you guys get us to season 10. I'll figure out a way. So he says it's going to be pretty good. I mean, Peacock has that Chucky show that's really good, man. I really like the Chucky show. They did good with that.
Word.
So we're getting more slashers.
Nice. So I have an update for one thing that we've been talking about for a while now. A little update in the Alec Baldwin Rust case.
Oh, yeah.
A judge denied Baldwin's motion to be removed from the civil lawsuit about the Rust killing.
He wanted to get his name off of it?
Yeah. He filed a motion to be removed from the lawsuit so that he could not be held financially liable for it. And the judge was like, nah.
No. Isn't it like his production?
Yeah, it's his production company, El Dorado Pictures.
Yeah. Sorry, bro. You're responsible. You hired the people that came in and didn't fucking follow the rules. They cost someone to lose their life. Like, don't be a bitch. Just fucking move on with the shit, dude. Like, do what's right.
Look, a human being is dead.
You know, you want to hear some shit about
be human. Be human. You know, you lost a person because of fucking gross negligence.
Yep.
And you know, he's fucking lucky that he's not in fucking prison right now for fucking, you know, at least like manslaughter or something because of this.
Accidental death, some shit that you caused. It along those veins, not with no celebrities, no pop culture stuff, but there's this. Hey, have you seen the story of this kid that his parents bought him for like a 16th birthday or some shit or graduation gift? I don't remember what it was. A Mustang, and the kid goes out and he's street racing. Did you hear that story?
No, I hadn't heard that story.
I don't know where it's at, but it's a fucking sad, tragic story. But this kid was street racing, doing over 100 miles an hour in this Mustang, and he hits a mom.
I didn't know Mustangs could do over 100 miles per hour.
Well, I mean, they are meant for 16-year-old girls, so or like 70-year-old men. So,
or like plus 40-year-old women.
Yeah. So anyway, he hits this lady in her baby, right? Kills the mom and the baby. She was like pushing the kid in a stroller, right? Fucking tragic as can be on this shit. And the kid gets sentenced to 24 years in prison. That's it. For killing a baby and a mom while racing. But on the part that really pisses me off on this is that him and his lawyers are saying the judge was too tough on them and that he should have a reduced sentence. I'm like, wait a minute. You fucking ended 2 lives.
Killed 2 people.
While illegally street racing. Like,
How the fuck is 24 years too much?
The other kid that was street racing got 6 years just for street racing.
Yeah.
So if you subtract 6 years for street racing from this guy, that means he only got like 18 years for killing 2 people. One of them a baby who's never even experienced life. Like,
yeah.
It's fucking gross, man. Like, that just... I'm like, why the fuck? Like, take his dad's rich. I think his parents, yeah, his parents are rich.
He's white and rich.
Yeah, so I'm like, fuck that. Take his right foot, so that way the bitch will never hit a gas pedal again. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I know it doesn't have anything to do with pop culture, but that Jen was telling me that story last night, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's fucking gross that the lawyer even has the balls to go ask for a lesser sentence.
Yeah. 24 years is not enough. I don't care who you are. Like, even if you are a fucking 16-year-old fucking kid, like, you killed 2 people.
Yeah, like,
it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
First of all, you were doing something you weren't supposed to be doing in the first place. You're illegally fucking street racing, and then that fucking illegal act turned into killing 2 people. So
yeah.
It's just all kinds of fucking.
It makes me think that if he's complaining about that and the lawyers and all that are trying to get it out, he is not going to learn his lesson from this.
Well, right. And here's the 2 schools of thoughts when it comes to punishment in prison and stuff like that, which we either need to choose one or the other and then just fucking be done with it. Either we have the system in place like we do now, or we go to a system like Norway has, where they have a maximum sentence, no matter what your crime is, you have a maximum sentence of this, and then after that, you're considered rehabilitated, and, and also reform the prison system, which is a big thing that needs to be done in this country.
It will, with it being privatized and shit, like
right, and that's the biggest part of, prison reform.
Some prisons, you can go in. You've got Xboxes and fucking internet. And
well, you should not be profiting off of keeping people in cages.
No. Absolutely. But, I agree.
Politics and all that stuff.
I agree. It's crazy. Fuck, I was just going to say something. Anyway, I don't know. I don't remember. Either way, that fucking tragic story, dude. And it just, what you were talking about with that Russ thing kind of brought that up of, Alec Baldwin trying to, like, weasel out. And I'm like, I mean, not that he's trying to weasel out. I'm sure he feels fucking terrible. But again, your company is responsible.
He's not a fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
He may not, he may not. I don't know. I've never met the man. I don't know if the guy is a cold, unfeeling fucking person or something, but it doesn't look good when you're not willing to take responsibility for an action that was clearly done by you, regardless of your intent.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably did not intend to fucking kill her. He could have been joking around and all this stuff, but the things surrounding all this stuff where he's saying, I was doing rehearsal and all this shit, the crew had already said that he was doing rehearsal for a scene that he was not supposed to have a fucking gun in his hand. So, trying to like not take responsibility for something just is not a good look for something that is clearly, an action.
And go look at a lot of these movies, when they're rehearsing like a scene where they shoot someone, they're not pulling the trigger every time they go do that rehearsal, That's just another additional risk.
And they're not actually pointing it at somebody even when they're doing rehearsal. And a lot of time, even in the fucking movies, unless you have
it's all perspective
or something like that.
Yeah.
They're not really even pointing the fucking gun at anybody.
It's all perspective. It's where the camera's at. That gun could be pointed 6 inches behind their head.
It's camera angle. Yeah, exactly.
And so, I mean, that showed complete negligence on his behalf on that. Like, come on, dude. Grow the fuck up, dude. Come on. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Oh, you know how I like Gears of War, right? Considering my gamer tag is Gear of War.
No, I've literally never heard of you talk about Gears of War ever.
So, did you see Netflix's announcement with the Coalition?
There's a live action movie and an adult animated series
Yep.
that's coming to Netflix.
Yep. So Netflix is making a live action. It's gonna be brutal movie, and they're making an adult animated cartoon to go, but continuing on that world.
Yeah. The funny thing is, when I was reading about that, uh, this is gonna make us fucking feel real old, but like I couldn't even believe that Gears of War as a fucking franchise has been around for 16 years. Like
Yeah.
Gears of War would be getting its fucking driver's license this year. Doesn't that make you feel old?
Yeah. No, what makes me feel old is knowing that we graduated high school 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah. So fucking good news for video game fans and Gears of War fans in particular.
Well, people have been wanting it forever, man. They've been talking about this for a long time.
And apparently Dave Bautista wants to be a part of the live action series.
Well, I mean, fuck, he looks like a Gears of War guy.
Yeah.
Look at the dude's built like a fucking, like he was made in Unreal Engine. I mean, look at this guy.
I've seen a lot of stuff coming up on my timeline about Dave Bautista really wanting to be in the new Gears of War live action series or live action movie.
Well, I mean,
series.
he's done with Drax, right? He's done. He's straight up said, he's like, look, dude, I'm like almost 60 or something. He's like, I can't keep my body looking like this.
Well, he's gonna have to for fucking Gears of War, right?
Yeah, they're gonna fill him up with armor.
They'll put him in one of those bulky armor suits and all that shit that they wear.
Did you see the trailer for Glass
But he's
Onion?
still gotta have a thick neck. That's the thing.
Yes.
Like, he's still gonna have to have a thick neck in order for it to be believable. So he's still gonna have to he's still gonna have to maintain some kind of size and shape. For that.
Have you seen it?
Unless they're gonna CGI his fucking neck.
Have you seen? They all have fucking green screen turtlenecks on to make it look double their neck size.
Like that one dude from the meme, that guy that's got like that big ass fucking neck.
Have you watched the trailer for Glass Onion? The Knives Out?
The new Knives Out movie. No, I have not gotten a chance.
Batista's in that, dude. Oh my god, dude! There's a part where Batista's wearing like a thong, and so we saw it. We went to go see Black Adam last night or the night before, and they had that trailer on there, and there's just like Batista in all of his glory up on the screen, fucking in a thong. It was awesome. So yeah, we went and saw Black Adam, dude. The Rock's,
what'd you think of it?
DC venture there. I thought it was.
What is Nick Zilla's fucking hot take on Black Adam?
I liked it. I mean, obviously, right? It's me. I like everything. So I thought it was.
You heard it here. He liked it.
I thought it was good. The parts I didn't like was it follows this like family. And they really didn't need to be there. There was really no. It's like the people in a Godzilla movie. Like they're just there to get you from point A to point B.
Unless you're Bryan Cranston, nobody gives a fuck about it.
Yeah, like in this one, it literally was there because they're following a crown, and they're following it because the kid in the family was literally there just to move the crown from this area to this area to get the Black Adam, the characters to move like that. That's all they really were there for. Like their acting was really bad. That wasn't very good. Now the rest of it was good, dude. Watching the JLA or not JLA, the JSA, Justice Society, like Hawkman and Dr. Fate and Atom Smasher and all them. Watching them fight. Black Adam was pretty awesome. 'Cause Black Adam's pretty strong. He's one of the strongest out there. up there Superman level. So
like he can rival Superman. Yeah, yeah.
So it was,
and of course, again, like we've talked about this in the past, it's kind of what DC wants is a Superman, Black Adam, fucking smash up.
well, that's what new DC wants. The old DC didn't want that, right? Because they were trying to get rid of the Black Adam movie. They didn't want Shazam. They didn't want Superman, right? But all those,
now we got James Gunn fucking running that.
yeah,
shit,
all those
so
guys are gone. So,
we're gonna
actually,
see that eventually with Henry Cavill coming back as Superman.
in this, he shows up at the end, dude, and he looks a little different. He's got like the big Jerry curl now, right? And so I'm thinking,
classic Superman.
yeah. So I'm thinking that this is leading into the new, right? Because now James Gunn has launched the DCU, right?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of the extended universe stuff, the Zack Snyder stuff. So they're going to roll these characters in, and I think the Superman's the first one. Yes, it's the same actor, but I don't think it's going to be the same Superman. I think it's going to be a whole different universe of it. So yeah, you'll get the same actor. They're not going to reference, I think, any of the DC EU stuff from this point on.
Yeah. So they're not going to bring Kevin Costner back or anything.
Right.
Like
I think that's why they went to all those reshoots for The Flash and Aquaman, too.
Michael Shannon. No Michael Shannon again as Zod.
Yeah, so I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to push it forward because, and this leads into the other story, a couple stories I've got about this, but Jason Momoa got very excited in a like Instagram live or whatever he was doing, Facebook Live, where he just got the news from the guy that he called Maestro, which is Andy Muschietti, right? The guy who did It and all that stuff. They call him Maestro. Ezra Miller, all of them, they all call him Maestro. Well, apparently he just got news from Maestro that that Jason Momoa is going to get to play with DC one of his all-time favorite characters a dream project, right? And so to me, we already know Aquaman 2 is coming, so I'm like, what's that going to be? He wants to play Lobo. He looks like fucking Lobo.
He would be a great Lobo.
He literally, Lobo is Momoa. He's a biker looking dude that, big drinks
dude. And and then just fucking throws one-liners out there.
Exactly.
Taking stuff seriously.
So I think because this new Peter Safran and Jason Gunn launching this stuff, right? Yeah. They're working on the Bible right now, their DC Bible with Zaslav, the owner of both of them. They're working on designing out and building this entire Bible for essentially what Feige did for Marvel for the phases.
Yes,
they're doing that right now for DC, which should be pretty exciting to see. And like I said, we're gonna get the same actors, but they may not be the same characters, right? That's how we're gonna get Momoa.
Right.
If it's true, if he plays Lobo and not Aquaman. So it's pretty exciting.
A little more true than to the golden era and silver era DC instead of the newer stuff where Aquaman's like this big jack dude. Because you remember like silver and golden era Aquaman was not fucking huge,
no, he's a scrawny little guy.
That everybody made fun of, for being able to talk to fish.
Aquaman was he was never even part of the Justice League in the beginning. Like Aquaman was just there's Aquaman.
Fish boy.
So we're getting the DCU and the MCU and no more DCEU. But it's good. Right. We got this team, right? That's passionate about this stuff. That's the important part. We've got a director and a producer that are passionate about long-term, long-form storytelling. Yeah. That is passionate about the characters and the fans.
World building.
Yes.
Here's the thing, and that's the That's the thing that Marvel got right that DC didn't catch on till it was too late is the importance of world building.
Exactly. So
That's why Harry Potter, that's why the Harry Potter franchise is so huge
it's a
because of the
believable
world
world.
building that took place. Not just that, not just believable world, but also every minute detail was taken into account, and that's how you get these big television series that go on for fucking 8 to 10 seasons. You get these huge multi-film franchises that go on for a decade and a half, like Marvel. Is world building, is to make it not only authentic but to really add a lot of lore, like deep lore into those things. Not just like why did or that this person does this, but why this person does this. The events that led to this person even thinking about doing this action and taking this action. How do they grow up, right? All of this stuff is like their own, each character's own personal experience through their whole life has to be built up
Yeah.
before culminating in this action that they do in this movie, that becomes a huge plot point, for that narrative. And then everything around it, right? The world, the physical world, you got to think about like, because it's like, Lord of the Rings, where there's a whole fucking map of Middle Earth and all this stuff, and these
Yeah.
people come from here, Game of Thrones, these people come from here, and this is their thing. Like, the world building is an important thing, and I'm glad that, that they're going to be doing that with the DCEU.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so their plan is set up for movies, TV shows, animated shows, and video games. They're all going to connect somewhere along the lines of in that world. So we don't have multiple.
Be consistent. Keep it consistent, yeah.
Only thing that will not be part of that is the Joker series.
Right.
And Matt
right.
Reeves, the Batman.
The Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
And the Pattinson Batman.
Yeah,
So those are the only two that are going to be separate. But other than that, he is going to build, or they are going to build a massive universe connected. And we're going to get all the stories with all the cool. That means we're probably going to finally get a good Green Lantern story. We're going to get the Deadshot. We're going to get Lex Luthor.
Green Lantern, like, dude, the Green Lantern movie was good. I don't fucking care.
The Ryan Reynolds one?
Says about it. Like, yeah, the Ryan Reynolds one.
I love that movie.
It was really good. I thought it was great. It just did not compete with what was released out at the time, because that was like, what, X-Men First Class, I think, was one of the big things it was competing against, and it kind of fell flat because of that, due to competing in the box office with that movie. I think it was like Hangover 2 and like First Class. I think those like came out like within a week of like Green Lantern's release. So I thought the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern was a good movie. It had its problems.
Well, I mean, you had Parallax. You had it had all the elements there. I mean, the extended version's even better. The director's version there, but
it had its problems. I mean, the CGI was not great. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't not great. But there's a lot of good criticisms, like constructive criticisms that they had about that movie. But the story overall was not bad. And Ryan Reynolds, I think he was a good Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't see any problem with the way he played Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get when they do finally make this Green Lantern stuff, if we're gonna get Hal Jordan or if we're gonna get oh god damn it, how did I forget his name?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about, the dark-haired one. Was it Brett?
No.
What?
the fuck's his name? I almost said Jeff Johns, but that's the guy who wrote the book. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot his name. Hold on. Green Lantern. Dude, they're gonna shoot me for not remembering this dude's name. Oh, there it is.
Was it the Kyle Rayner one? Is that the one
No,
you're talking
it's,
about? Because I mean, you know, like, well, a lot of people in Green Lantern, like different, you know, people have adopted the
John Stewart.
ring power ring. Oh, okay.
Um,
I don't know. I think Kyle Rayner was probably like my favorite of the Green Lanterns.
John Stewart was a badass too. John Stewart's the black guy that was Green Lantern. I think after Hal.
Oh, okay.
His was badass. I mean, Hal Jordan's like my favorite, but John Stewart was fucking epic too, man. Anyway, yeah, I like that as well. So I'm just hoping that we get some really cool, entertaining. I mean, based off of what James Gunn's done already with Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, like I have no doubt, man. The fucking light from the sliding door makes my beard look all like wispy, like like there's no hair there.
I see that one gray hair there down the middle too.
There's like there's like
fucking
three strings of gray like coming down. Again, we're getting old.
Yeah.
You should see the pubes. All right, let's
I already see your face pubes.
let's move on. Anyway, we approve that message of James Gunn and Peter Safran, man. Fucking build the world. I don't care. Take 2 more years if you got to develop this shit out completely, but just bring us some good stories.
Mentioning still in the DC universe, or not necessarily universe, but in the DC vein, Sandman was picked up for a second season. Yes, it was. Yes, for a second season. So season 1 did well enough, which was fucking great.
We will see more Dream.
We talked about that in a previous episode about how good that was. So excited to hear that.
Hell yeah, dude. That show was epic.
Yeah.
I am down for some more Dream.
Hell yeah.
Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya. If I'm fucking up your name, I'm sorry. It's the guy from Get Out and Nope. He's in the Key or Jordan Peele movies.
Yeah. He was also in Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
He's one that played T'Challa's like one of his best friends or something.
Yeah. He's playing Spider-Punk in the new Across the Spider-Verse movie.
That fits. Yeah.
So I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So congrats on that, man. Spider-Punk is badass. So righteous. I saw that was a big announcement.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Black Panther, obviously Wakanda Forever just released.
Yep.
84 million.
I saw that
already domestic, and 114 million worldwide. So doing pretty fucking good for box office. That's for one day. That's just the return for Friday.
So this movie's it's kind of a mixed bag though, right? It's selling big because the last one did really well, and people want to see them more, and they want to see what they do with T'Challa. But reviewers coming out of the movie are bombing. They're shitting all over this movie, saying it's a bad movie. Like,
okay. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes or anything.
Yeah,
like
I've been watching a lot of like YouTube reviews of people that came out of like pre-screens and stuff, early media releases where they were embargoed on their impressions until it released, and they're not holding anything back on it. They're talking about how it's just typical Disney shit that they've been pulling. Which is kind of a bummer because Ryan Coogler does good stuff, but
Yeah, it does. He's a great director. Great director.
apparently it's scattered. It's a lot of just like odd choices of like the characters do that don't make sense, and it just to get a good visual. And I don't know, like I did hear that Namor calls himself a mutant in the movie, so I'm like, yes, like he's the main reason I want to see this
setting up
movie.
the X-Men. Yeah, setting up the X-Men entry into the MCU.
Yeah, and apparently, so he said that he's been there for hundreds of years, right? Because his ability and all that stuff, they don't age they age very, very slowly. So, the mutants have been there forever. They've just been hidden and hiding from everybody, which plays, right? The mutants try to hide and not be seen. But a lot of the big things that they're saying is just that, the characters are not very good. They make very bad choices of like plot point choices that those characters wouldn't normally make, I guess, per their comic character. My biggest bummer is that they didn't recast T'Challa, man. Chadwick's family and all them, they all said no, he wouldn't have wanted that character to go because there's so many more stories to tell with T'Challa in Black Panther, right? Like I thought that was a perfect way to bring Storm into the series is to have her like being a love interest of his or something, right?
Of T'Challa,
right? Like there's so many cool things they could have done with that character, and his character was so powerful in the first one and in like the Avengers movies and stuff. Like it's a bummer that they said out of respect they're not going to recast, but yet other actors that have died that were in this show, they've recast with somebody else, just not him.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? So I don't know.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes has already certified it fresh.
Of course they did. They've also certified so many other movies where we're like, what? You can't trust their scores. That's for damn sure. They've certified fresh movies that have like 6 reviews, and then they block all the other reviews.
I mean, the verified audience percentage is 95% too. So that's the thing. Like, the critical ones have gone for 84%. The verified audience is 95%. So from audience reviews are liking it too. From what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I just like I said, it's a mixed bag.
It's not just critics. It's not just critics.
I see that for every one that comes out and says, "Hey, this, and this are just bad," another one says, "I loved it." So, I still want to see it. It's just I'll wait. I wanted to go see Black Adam first, because I'm a DC boy, so I wanted to go see Black Adam. But I really want to see what they do with fucking Namor, man. Like I'm kind of stoked about that. I do think it's funny that so they've been hidden for all this time, right? Nobody even knew that they existed down there at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. And he's like, my enemies call me Namor, and I'm like, what enemies? You've been hidden. Nobody knows you're there. Anyway, let's keep going here. We're stretching time. I do have another story about a documentary. If you want to hear about that.
All right, let's hear about that. Well, remember we didn't record an episode last week too, so we can go on.
Oh yeah, I mean, but we're already at like an hour and a half, so we just get
good.
Yeah. So November 17th, there's a Netflix documentary dropping called Pepsi, Where's My Jet? So the story of this is a college student found a loophole in the Pepsi's ad campaign. So back in the day, you used to get like the Pepsi points.
Was that the one? Was that the one about the guy that like collected the bottle caps or something, or
Yeah.
like the codes or something? Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the commercials
Yeah, I'm
showed.
familiar with that story.
Yeah, the commercial showed that like you could even buy a Harrier for 7, all these points or something like that.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
this guy found a loophole in the system of, well, Pepsi allows you to buy points instead of just going and buying soda.
Yeah.
So it would have been something like he would have had to buy like 1.5 million 12 packs of Pepsi to get enough points.
Yeah.
But then he found out the loophole that he could have bought the like 7 million points that was needed to buy the Harrier from the commercial for only $700,000. And so he had a rich roommate in college that said, well, let's do it. So he bought the points, went to turn it in, and Pepsi was like, yeah, we're not giving you a like $23 million Harrier jet. So he sued him. Rightfully so, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, don't fucking advertise it if you're
And
not
so,
gonna.
yeah, they didn't think anyone would do it.
If you're not gonna fucking live up to it, you're not gonna. Don't give your word.
Yeah, and Pepsi said, well, the ad was a joke. And so when they went to court, they're like, where does this...
Pepsi's a
There's
joke.
no subtext anywhere on this that states that no jets are given away.
Right. There's no asterisk or any fine writing on there, fine print on there. Sorry, brain fart. No fine print on there saying, "Hey, this is a parody. This is a joke."
Yep. So, yeah. So this ought to be a very interesting documentary.
Well, speaking of jokes and parodies and more actually satire, did you read the Onion's open letter to the Supreme Court about protecting publications' rights to publish satire without necessarily labeling, the individual articles and stuff like that as satire?
No.
So a big thing of something I don't remember the details about the case specifically that the Supreme Court was looking at, but the Onion wrote an open letter to the Supreme Court defending parody and satire on the internet, and their First Amendment right to, publish joke articles that don't necessarily expressly say that, that this is a joke and that it's satire, because of course, satire is only funny when you don't say that it's a joke. Oh, okay. Okay.
They didn't have to like say, "Hey, this upcoming thing's a joke."
Yeah, exactly. So actually, I think I'm remembering some details of the case. It was like a local police department that this one guy came up with a satire Facebook account for a local police department, and then started to publish these posts on Facebook under this fake police department's account, just saying like outrageous stuff like that like the police department was going to crack down on child molesters and pedophiles and stuff like that, and if they happen to pass, if like when they do crack down and they go through a rehab and all that stuff, and they happen to pass a test and stuff like that, the police department will hire them on as like an officer. And just like crazy stupid shit that's obviously a joke, very clearly a joke, very clearly meant to be satire and funny, but because a few boomers most likely thought that these posts were real and that it was the real PD, that police department ended up, taking legal action.
I think I heard about this.
Yeah. this guy that that started this joke account for that police department. So I think I'm not entirely sure because I'm not looking at an article right now about it, but I think it got up to the Supreme Court, or got up to some higher court, and the Onion uh, wrote and released an open letter defending the right to publish satire and all that.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that story. I thought that was pretty awesome. uh,
Oh, it's just it's called
keep going. I'll be right back.
yeah, Onion's amicus brief to the Supreme Court of the United States. That's what it is, and it was published actually like earlier last month. So this is like a very recent thing. But it's called the Onion's amicus brief. You can, and actually on the Supreme Court website, you can actually download the PDF to read the Onion's amicus brief. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting thing. On YouTube, the YouTube channel Legal Eagle, pretty popular YouTube channel, went over why the amicus brief was important, and then went through some lines of the amicus brief, and kind of explained some things about the actual content of the brief itself, and the fact that it's like an actual legal document too. That's the other thing. That they did. So it's pretty interesting. But it is defending people's right for parody and satire without necessarily having to express that, oh yeah, this is parody and satire. The contents itself should be, pretty obvious that it's parody or satire.
Gotcha. Sorry, I had to pee real quick.
Yeah.
I had 2 cups of coffee and a giant thing of water, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, oh shit, man, I really gotta pee. Yeah, I mean, I've been on that YouTube site too. They do some pretty good work there.
Legal Eagle, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And recently they just went over the Alex Jones case,
yeah,
the $1 billion fucking civil suit decision and all that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The satire is a big thing. I mean, look at Saturday Night Live and all the New York Post, like all the cartoonists that do all the political cartoons and stuff. Like,
yeah.
That's been a part of our country forever.
The Onion itself, being started out as a satirical newspaper.
Yep.
Back when print media was still the number one way to get your news and all that, and then they were able to translate that to online presence early in the internet days. Yeah.
You ever notice on YouTube videos
Speech is important.
like where someone's trying to like show something off and they're always like this?
Oh yeah, they have those. Yeah, they have the reaction thumbnails where it's like, oh look at
It looks like they're waiting for a giant dick in the mouth. Like every time I go look at like these, like, because I watch a lot of comic book like unboxing videos, like these people.
They are waiting for a giant dick in the mouth.
Like they go to unbox like the comic books they get back from CGC.
How homophobic of you!
And every one of them, they're just like,
Yeah.
right? It's like they can't believe the thing that they got back that they sent that they knew was coming back.
Right. Well, now it's a meme too, because now you have like other YouTubers that'll like make thumbnails making fun of that, right? these overacted reactions and stuff like that. Like one of them that I like is Finn McKenty, the punk rock NBA. He talks about like heavy music and stuff like that, and he talks about like heavy music bands and different subgenres of heavy music and stuff like that. It's really good. If you haven't checked him out, he's a pretty big YouTuber. He's got a pretty big channel there, Punk Rock NBA.
Yeah.
And Finn McKenty. But yeah, he makes these thumbnails of like him with like his hand on his head, and he's like,
yeah,
and it's talking about like, why is Bring Me the Horizon important or something, like stupid shit like that. But like at this point, it's like it's a fucking meme, and it's like,
or it's
being, it's parody, right? They're parodying these other accounts, like you said, like people that are like, oh no, it's a new Logitech gaming mouse.
Yeah, it's like before you buy this, you have to know,
right,
like everything. Like you just go to your YouTube and go down like every one of them.
It has a laser instead of a ball.
It's just I'm like, God damn it, dude! Like every video, I'm like, they're trying to suck you in because you can't believe what they're gonna show you.
It's clickbait. Yeah, exactly. It's clickbait, and it's like just boring as fuck. It's like,
yeah, I know, dude. And then you go to like comments and shit, like
the opposite of exciting.
It's like the ones where they show like a girl in like a skimpy bikini or something, or like implied nudity, and then you go through the video and you're like, well, where's the thumbnail picture? And you read the comments, and all the comments are like,
exactly.
I wasted 5 minutes of my time scrolling through this video for that one.
This is the clickbait, man.
Oh, dude.
It's the clickbait, and the clickbait, and it's also the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, that the YouTube algorithm is something that, like, a lot of YouTubers have been complaining about for fucking years.
Yeah, because if they don't do it, their video doesn't get seen.
Yeah. And they don't get money.
You know what might not get seen? Or
ads may not be,
Yeah. Or Disney's afraid of?
Yeah. What might not get seen?
Disney's afraid of Indiana Jones 5 right now. Apparently it's not very good.
Oh?
Yeah.
Well?
So, apparently Disney's very worried about Indiana Jones 5. And they're contemplating on sending it directly to Disney Plus.
Streaming, where good movie series go to die.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently they had to go back because Kathleen Kennedy was trying to like do some shit or something. So,
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. So they've been doing all these reshoots and shit and delays and all this stuff kept happening, and so they're finally like finishing up the movie, and like test audiences are not really liking it. They're trying to set up the next Indiana Jones, right? The next person.
Yeah.
And it just apparently it's not very good, and Disney's a little worried about all this money they spent.
I just want to look at Mads Mikkelsen for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Mads Mikkelsen and Antonio Banderas. I just want to stare at their faces the whole time. I don't care what they're doing.
Hannibal. Just watch Mads cooking meat and food. You ever watch the Hannibal series?
I want to watch them kiss. I want to watch Mads Mikkelsen and Antonio Banderas.
I want to see their love baby.
Giant on-screen kiss.
So
with
in the Hannibal series, Mads was cooking up, like people and shit, right? It's Hannibal, but he was like straight up, like everything he cooked was all like so fine, and like everything was. Right. I mean, it looked so good.
Cuisine. This is fine dining cuisine, right? Well, because that was, one of the things even like Anthony Hopkins' fucking Hannibal Lecter was known for, was like not just cooking and eating people, but also like cooking fine cuisine and serving it to other people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like shit that you go spend
like making people eat people.
$200 a plate type stuff.
Yeah. That long pig.
Yeah, long pig. So, yeah, anyway, apparently Disney's a little worried about this Indiana Jones.
Man, that's a bummer. I was kind of hopeful for it, but yeah, I do see like some of these articles are like it's overwhelmingly negative reviews, test reviews.
Yeah. Now,
Which the thing is like that's what test screenings are for, though. So
Yeah.
that's really not indicative of like the final product, because I mean a lot of film. I mean, the big film studios do this all the time. They'll do test screenings out in LA and other
like the Flash,
big
the Flash has
markets
been
and stuff
doing.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll do these test screens to just see what works and what doesn't work with audiences. They've been doing that for decades.
Yeah.
So
Big famous.
This is not an indication that the new Indiana Jones movie is going to be bad. It's just the rough draft is not that good.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing in terms of like the overall, for when they know what's working, what's not working, so that they can get writing staff back on it and redo these things to make the end product good.
Yeah, and there's a big. I mean, to give you an idea how long they've been doing this forever. So the first Rambo movie, right, came out in what, the 80s.
Yeah.
The ending.
I think it might have been like 1980.
Yeah, the ending of the first Rambo had Rambo die, like in the book. In the book,
it was 82.
Okay,
82. That's what. 82.
In the book, the colonel comes up and literally like blows off the top of Rambo's head with a shotgun. In the book,
yeah,
they filmed that scene, and test audiences did not like the fact that Rambo died at the end. And so they reshot and put a whole new ending into the movie. Which is how we were able to get Rambo 2 and 3 and 5 and 9 and 14.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. Yeah, exactly, because otherwise they would have had to do prequels and God, like fucking sequels and prequels and fucking bears, oh my. Yeah.
So yeah, they
And a Rambo prequel probably is not out of the fucking sphere of
I'm sure it's
possibilities.
coming. To see the shit.
If Stallone finds like, a good young actor that can kind of fucking pass as him, then we could theoretically get a movie that shows Rambo's experiences in Vietnam.
His torture and all that when he gets caught.
Yeah. Yeah, that the first film was really, really heavily using for that story, and Rambo's story.
And we can use it as a modern day, because the book originally was written about PTSD before PTSD was really a well-known thing, right?
Yeah,
Vietnam.
In Rambo First Blood, showed a lot of people what the PTSD was like for those Vietnam era guys.
Especially when he breaks down crying at the end of the movie, and he's now,
and also just the way that they could not integrate themselves back into society because of those traumatic experiences.
The book is very different than the movie. Very different. Rambo only kills one person. He doesn't even kill anybody. Like, the guy falls out of the helicopter and then the helicopter crashes. Like, he doesn't actually kill anybody. In the book, he kills everybody. All of them. The whole village. He's fucking blowing up civilian houses and shit. He's blowing up the courthouse. He's throwing dynamite into people's houses.
He's a fucking terrorist.
He's bringing his skill and his war of what he's trained to do to an enemy that has fucked with him for the last time, and he's tired of it. Yeah. And so, the book was, the book was brutal, but it was good. In the movie, there's the part where they're like trying to shave him, and he gets those flashbacks, right? And he's like, no, and he like hits the guy and runs. In the book, he grabs that fucking blade and he disembowels the sheriff. Like, his guts like spread all over the floor and shit. And as the sheriff's, like, the cops are trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, he's like upstairs, breaks into a gun locker and like blasts the face off of another cop as he's running out the door, buck fucking naked. Yeah. So it's very different. So I mean, I wouldn't even doubt that if they find a nice young actor that we get a prequel, and then they maybe even redo First Blood and go through a whole different and then end it like
Make
the book did.
it more, like make it more like the book then.
Because in the book, he's not a hero.
It's a one-off Rambo First Blood movie where it's more
exactly
more faithful to.
Because it's Rambo is not a hero. Our Rambo that we have in the movies, he's the hero, right? He's the underdog. He's the guy we're rooting for. In the book, it follows Teasel, which is the sheriff, and him, and each chapter goes back and forth of what they're doing to go through this, event that's going on. In Rambo, like there's a part where he tries to give up like twice, but again, the people just keep pushing him, and they keep pushing him, and he says, "I'm not going to be pushed anymore. I'm tired of it. As soon as I got back from the war, that's all I've had is people pushing me." And he's like, "I'm tired. I'm done with it." It's a good book, man. And honestly, I would love to see a truer tale to the book. I just don't know. In the days now of sensitivity of that much violence,
people are going to be able to digest that.
But
they'll do it.
They would have to do it as a more modern PTSD thing. Yeah. I don't know if people don't recognize really the Vietnam stuff anymore. The younger people, like they don't, they just don't associate with that. It would have to be something modern.
The other thing too is it has a lot to do with the American culture now because now they prop veterans up as heroes and stuff like that, and that was not the atmosphere in the 1960s and the 1970s when those veterans were
they even make comments of Rambo like, "What did you burn your draft card? Did you do this? Did you do that?" And his response was, "Fuck you." He wouldn't tell him anything. He didn't say that he was a war vet or a Green Beret. He said, "I ain't telling you shit. I'm in America. I'm an American. I don't have to tell you shit." Yeah. Like they tried to get him for vagrancy, and that pissed him off.
And so you can't. And there's all kinds of fucking historical fucking mess that comes with vagrancy laws and stuff like that.
Especially with the
we don't need to get
homeless
into.
Veterans and stuff that were...
Homeless veterans. Well, not just homeless veterans, but homeless people of color and stuff like that. Like African Americans.
Yep.
Those African Americans that were coming back from fucking Vietnam were fucking treated like fucking dogs.
Well, not just them. The Hispanic, remember Gonzo, right? And they deported him. Yeah. He got shot in Vietnam. Yeah. He comes back home and they deported him back to Mexico, and then his commanding officer had to go get him and say, no, come back. We made a mistake.
Well, that and also like they all got fucking, well, not all of them, but a lot of them also got fucking addicted to fucking speed and fucking opium and all that stuff. So not only were they not able to integrate back into society and all that stuff because of the fucking prevailing fucking ideas about, these war veterans that day, but they're also fucking addicts and they had nowhere to fucking turn.
Yeah.
And were just treated like fucking shit.
Yep. And so, the Rambo book definitely shows that time and that era.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad that the culture has changed, but it's going a little too far the other way. Where, they're fucking, they want to glorify things that are not meant to be glorified. They're glorifying the gritty reality, which is not with things that are in reality, should not be glorified.
Yes.
Because, that's hard to really explain it.
I get what you're saying, and a lot of it is the, honor the soldier, the Marine, the Navy men,
of course.
Honor them, not what they have to honor do them, for the country.
What they have to do, what they have done, and the things that they have to go through now.
And just know that,
for the facts. But know that
they're going to need support.
yeah, that know that some of the things that they saw, some of the things that we saw, some of the things that they had to do aren't pretty.
No.
You know, in Vietnam, the Vietnam era guys know it better than fucking almost anybody
Yeah.
about things that they had to do, about the things that they saw that were just fucking this. I mean, it's monstrous.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen someone that, you know, when someone said, you know, thanks for your service, you know, he got mad at it.
He's like, fuck off.
Yeah, he's like,
exactly.
he's like, I wouldn't thank anybody for what I had to do and what I did. Like that's, you know, I get it, you know, and, you know, again, you know, Rambo nowadays, him going on that mass killing spree like that just to get revenge and put out there of, hey, you know, I'm not going to be pushed around anymore. It's dated, but it can be retold with a different story. Yeah. Because
I mean, you like you said, you could modernize it.
Yeah.
You know, which actually, you know, a few movies kind of have sort of modernized a little bit. Like, you know, Walking Tall is like one example of like kind of a modernized sort of Rambo thing where like, you know, it's not like Rambo, but it's spiritually close to Rambo.
Yeah. You know, and Sylvester Stallone went in, you know, when they did First Blood, you know, his thing at the end where he breaks down crying, talking about all his friends, you know, and they're like, they're all gone. It was the trauma. And he's like, and I just wanted to come in and get a hamburger, and this guy wouldn't let me. And, you know, he's kicking me out.
And left the fuck alone.
You know, he's got the scars all over him. I mean, it was just, it's a powerful message if you know. It's one of those if you know, you know type things.
He just wanted to be treated like another fucking human being, right?
Yep.
Like he wanted to be able to just pass through this.
He says all the things I did for them, and then they, you know,
and then they
brushed me off like I'm
like this. They want to try to throw me in fucking jail, or they tell me get out of my fucking town. Like, bro, come on, I'm a human being.
Yeah, they're calling them hippies because their hair's long and they're, you know, they got a beard, and it's just craziness, man. Anyway, welcome to Rambo Talk. Which is never a bad thing.
This week on Rambo Talk.
It's never a bad thing. Like, it's fucking Rambo. Come on. The dude knows how to kill. Did you watch Andor yet?
No.
I just finished. Season finale just dropped. Andy Serkis is in it. Yeah, nice. he's a badass actor. Andy Serkis. So.
Yeah, he's a great character.
He was Bruce Wayne, or not Bruce Wayne. Fucking, he's Alfred in the new Batman movie. Yeah, dude. Andor was pretty good. I was pretty damn surprised at that. It felt like an espionage-ish in the Star Wars world. Like, if they make more Star Wars shows like these, I don't want Luke. I don't want Leia. I don't want any of those. Yes, I love them.
Right, yeah. The Skywalker storylines have been played.
Keep them out. Give me more stories in these universes of what's going on.
I do like that they brought Diego Luna back.
Yeah.
For Andor thing.
Yeah, it was really cool because
from his character, you know, in Rogue One.
Yeah, it would. So I think there's 2 seasons of this show they're gonna do. And the second season is going to end like right where Andor starts. So it's pretty cool how they're doing it. The show was really good, man. It's about the politics of starting the rebellion and the fact that it costs money and it costs all this stuff and all these high up political people that are like double agenting to start this rebellion because they don't like the Empire and the rebellion and all that shit that's going on. And just, it was really cool, man. It was a very cool, like, espionage. Like, they're like, we have to sneak in and do this and that. And Andor was cool, man. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I was like, holy shit, that's pretty good.
Revealing probably some strategies and stuff like that real world rebellions and stuff like that had used in the past.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the things is they sneak in as like military officers to steal the payroll for the Empire for a certain quadrant, and they used that money to fund the rebellion to buy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they steal military weapons and equipment and, you know, shit that real guerrilla warfare would do. They'd go in and they'd steal all that stuff and then use it to
Steal stuff,
getting
sell
closer.
drugs.
Yeah.
Close things.
And then I only got one more thing, which was
Uno mas.
Jen and I went to Epcot. We went to the Evil Mouse's house for the wine and food festival.
Yeah. I seen those pictures that y'all posted on the Facebook.
Yeah, so actually the story's got two parts to it, but the first part is the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, dude.
We'll start at the ending and then
Circle back.
start at the ending, and kind of circle back to the middle, and then
Back to the end,
beginning at the end,
and then the prequel of the
and
beginning.
back to the end or the final. Yeah.
Okay.
Chris Nolan this.
Yeah,
right?
through time. Real life. That Guardians of the Galaxy ride, holy shit. Best ride I've ever been on.
Nice.
It blows away. Like,
Is that one a 4D experience?
no, they're not spraying water at you and shit.
Okay.
You're in this coaster, roller coaster.
So you're not getting hit by little pebbles and shit like for astronauts or like Stardust and stuff.
No, it's you're sitting in these carts that are like 2x2. And here's a secret: sit in aisle 9 if you're gonna go ride this ride. Trust me,
Okay.
aisle 9. That's the one that the developers of the ride chose as the best seat, and you'll know why.
Aisle 9.
Aisle 9, row 9.
Row 9. Do you just get hit by fucking
No, it's the way the coaster goes. So the
Rocket's nutsack just like smacks you on the
a
forehead?
little trash panda humping your leg. So when the carts go off up into this area where the ride starts, the carts turn around. So if you're in row 9, you're at the end. You now become the front row.
Oh, yeah.
The way that it, you know, but it's an omni coaster. So as the cart's moving, the actual cart is spinning as it's on a track.
Yeah.
And they do that to direct you because you're in space. You're supposed to be in a spaceship. And so the whole thing is black. You can't see shit except all the pinpoints of stars. And then they got these big projector screens going that shows like the Milano, the Guardians ship, fighting the Celestial and shit. And it's really cool. And you're part of it. And the ride is
Nice.
going in and out. And then the ride will like tilt you down and spin like going down a drain. And you're doing this at like 50 miles an hour. This is the world's largest indoor roller coaster. It's crazy.
Nice.
And as you're going down, like there's this like giant like moon, and you're getting closer to the moon and shit. Like it is fucking epic, dude. Really cool ride. If you ever anyone who's listening gets a chance, fucking go do it. You don't go upside down. You don't do any spins. So if that shit bothers you, don't worry. It's just really fast, and you're doing a lot of just banking and shit as you're flying on a ship. But the experience was amazing. We got out of there, like Jen and I, like we had tears in our eyes because we're laughing and having so much fun with this shit that we like paid like $14 each to go ride it again to jump the line. It was that fucking good. So
Nice.
absolutely, you know, and then we're like, man, that was so cool. We came home and watched Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 again. Because, you know, the holiday show, Guardians Holidays, coming out in December.
Yeah.
And then next year we get Guardians 3. So,
Yeah.
man, that was so good. One of the best rides I've ever had. Now, the second...
I wonder if Groot is going to say, I am Groot.
Probably. But remember, that one time he did say, we are Groot.
Are Groot.
Whoa, watch your language. So the evil mouse is at it again. So there's like a South Florida like high school marching band. So they bring these bands win these tournaments and championships, and then they go to like Disney in the parade or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And Disney wanted them to put tape over their logo, which is like the Seminole Indians, saying that it was offensive. Disney again.
The Seminoles are a tribe of Native Americans. They're not, like, calling somebody a Seminole is not a fucking slur. They're a fucking tribe.
And they said, well, the school needs, so apparently the school board is run by also, a bunch of left that wants to change everything, and they're trying to change the symbol and the mascot. The problem is the tribe is the ones who designed it and like it.
Yeah.
It brings attention to the Seminoles. It's
what
they don't want it changed.
Again, this is not the Washington Redskins. This is not the Cleveland Indians. This is specific tribes. This is Seminoles. This is Braves. This is these are names and images that are revered by these Native American tribes. They're proud of this. This is proud history.
Yep, and they keep saying, like, look, white lady.
The Blackhawks. I mean, there's there's so many fucking tribes.
And it's usually like
not the Blackhawks, the Blackfoots.
An elderly, like, white person that's in charge of these things, and they're like, look, stop feeling offended on our behalf because we are not offended.
Yeah.
You're putting that in our mouth.
Let the people who are supposedly offended actually weigh in on this thing and speak for themselves instead of you being this fucking,
Same thing happened with
privileged white person that's like, yes, I feel
some like little rich white person that feels offended for them on their behalf. Like,
I'm so offended on their behalf that I have to speak out. I have to be the voice. Instead of letting them be their own voice and empowering them to voice their
I got to do it for them. You know what that shows?
Voice.
That shows that you think they're not smart enough and good enough to do it.
You think they're not equal to
exactly.
You. That's the thing.
The BLM has that problem, right? They're like, look, people need to stop coming and fighting on our behalf because they're starting riots, right? And it's the people they arrested for a lot of those were like rich white people that were offended on behalf of a particular minority group that is racist kind of for you to do because, again, you feel like they are not equal and they're not good enough to state what they you don't know what you want. You don't know you're offended. Let me tell people that you're offended.
I know that you're offended. I know deep inside that you're offended, and I am brave enough to stand up on your behalf.
Yeah, just know nobody wants people to do that. Just know.
I'm willing to speak for you.
So the Seminoles, the school was like, yeah, Disney, we ain't covering shit up. We ain't coming. No. And so they told them, they said, we're not doing it. We're not covering up our brand. We're not covering up our stuff. And then, of course, the school board was like, oh, this is just a travesty. We need to change this logo right away. These kids aren't getting, the children, they're not getting what they deserve. And it's like, no, the children don't want to do it because they're proud of, yes, they're not Seminole, but they're proud of the heritage of that school and that land.
Yeah. And I mean, where are, here's the thing, like, where are the actual, like, people that are keeping the history and heritage of the tribe alive? Are they a part of the campus? Are they going on campus and, showing these students that culture and all that stuff and that heritage of that? Are they allowed to do all that stuff? I don't know, because obviously...
Yeah, I don't know either.
I didn't study there. But, yeah. These students, first of all, these students are young adults. They're not fucking children. You know what I mean? They're young adults. And yeah, I mean, where's the if the school board's doing this stuff, then they need to bring these people to talk to the school board.
Yeah.
And say, look, this does not offend us.
Yeah, I mean,
we're all proud of it.
Well, that was like the Cleveland Indians guy, right? The guy I think it was them. Wasn't it like a Native American that designed that logo, like, or something like? It was one of those teams where they changed the name and they were like, none of us are offended by this. Like, we designed the logo for you guys like 40 years ago. Like, it was something like that. It was like a family member that had designed it or something. It was one of those things, and you know,
the name may have been offensive.
yeah,
But like you said, the images and the logos are not necessarily offensive, especially when someone is a part of that community that is, is the one that designs it. Then that's, an honor.
yeah.
For their history.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty messed up of Disney to do, and this isn't the first time, and it's not going to be the last that they do shit like this.
Yeah. Well, Disney's trying to create their own. They're trying to build their own fucking like subdivision in Florida. Like they're trying to build their own neighborhood.
Yeah, well,
Disney themed neighborhood.
well, they had,
and they're not even trying to do it. Their homes built.
yeah. So they had a special like tax jurisdiction for them and shit.
Yeah.
And they lost that when they went against the governor for when they went through that battling of the Don't Say Gay bill, which that's not even the name of it. They never even mentioned the word gay once in the bill. That's just what Disney and those people were calling it, right? That's just the easier name to say. But all the bill was that, hey, we're not going to teach your first and second graders anything about any of that. If they've got questions about it, they come to the parents or they wait until later. Like, we just are not going to teach a second grader, what a trans or, any of those things.
Right.
They don't need to know that at that age. They need to learn how to count to a fucking 1,000 and learn what countries are in them.
School is for academia.
Yes.
That's what school is for. It's to learn how to read, write, do math, all this stuff. Learn
Yep.
History, even like social studies and stuff like that really are kind of not, there's really not a whole lot of place in school for social studies, mainly because of just the fact that we're seeing a lot of things that are taught in social studies that are being taught wrong on purpose to push a certain image, of history and all that. Because they don't just teach the facts, right? They teach
opinion.
Opinion. Yep. Yeah. So, yes, they're, United States, U.S. history and stuff like that, is very opinionated when it comes to what they teach in public schools.
Well, yeah, and they're focusing more on recent history versus the fact that like this czar was killed, which triggered this, which set up this rebellion, which started World War fucking I, right? Or learning the history. Again, if they don't know the history, you don't know where you're going because you're going to make those mistakes again, and that's what's happening now. You're getting a whole second civil rights thing that's going.
But the thing is like there's this constant argument in education and even through historians about like, these famous things that supposedly happened that maybe did not necessarily happen the way that they teach it in schools, or, the schools teach a political spin on something that happened, like when we were, in fucking elementary school and shit like that, we were taught that fucking Christopher Columbus discovered America and all this shit, and he's a fucking huge hero because he discovered America and the New World and all that stuff. The dude never stepped foot in North America, and everywhere that he did step fucking foot, people were fucking, native people were fucking slaughtered, and that's no fucking hero.
We have a whole holiday for it.
and we have a fucking nationally fucking recognized fucking holiday for, Christopher Columbus, who never stepped foot in North America, or, and was a fucking piece of shit that got past the, like his expedition to the New World or to India was fucking passed on by several different fucking monarchs in Europe before settling on Spain and, you know, them giving him a shot
Yep.
at it. So, yeah, I mean, just in the couple decades that it took for, you know, more information and history to come out, just it's the same thing with like the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, right? That the story of Thanksgiving is not as nice and not as, you know, polished as, you know, it was taught to us.
I mean, they
when we
didn't
were
just sit
kids.
around the table and laugh and joke with each other and
Oh, yeah, exactly.
with knives at each
So-
other's throats.
Yeah, yeah, like an uneasy, shaky relationship because, you know, these Native Americans felt bad for these people that were about to go into a fucking winter and a famine that they were not fucking prepared for.
Yep.
And these Native Americans were not fucking savages. They recognized these fucking white people as human beings too, as humans that deserved, you know, basic food, shelter, water, and all this stuff, and, you know, taught them to be that way. And then these fucking, you know, colonists, you know, once they survive the fucking winter, they're like, oh yeah, fuck all these
Then
people.
comes springtime, war's back on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. So welcome to History Podcast.
Welcome to History
History's
Podcast.
fucked up.
Humans are fucked
So
up.
anyway,
Mankind as a species is fucked up.
so yeah, back to the original point there. The evil mouse.
The evil mouse.
You know, they just
And
it's
our
the same
tangents.
thing with so many other companies and all that. They're trying to say, oh well, we're part of this group. We're good for this group, and you know, F everybody else along the way.
You know, some of them have that attitude. Yeah, some of them have the we're for this group and fuck everybody else. But then there's others that, you know, like Black Lives Matter, that is not saying fuck white people. You know, they're not saying fuck white people by saying Black Lives Matter. Not the political movement. Like,
No,
not the-
you've
not the-
got
like-
different.
Like you have the company,
Yeah,
right? You have that whole thing, the organization, but then as a political movement, as a protest movement, Black Lives Matter is not saying white people bad and all this stuff. They're just calling attention to the fact that, you know, black people in this country are being unfairly targeted by law enforcement and the courts, and they're being unfairly treated by the justice system, and they don't want to stand for that anymore. And
Yep.
that I get behind, right? But they're not saying fuck white people. They're just
it's all the
just
other.
because they exclude all the other races from their you know from their rally, you know, cries and all that stuff doesn't mean that they hate those people. They're just trying to call attention for this one specific group of people that seem to be overly targeted.
Yep. Yeah, and it's all the other. Social media does not help these organizations because
No.
you've got
No, it
the, you know, you'll get like the angry lady that's on there that's like, you know, kill every white person you see, Black Lives Matter. And, you know, I'm sure at that point when
Yeah.
you see that, Black Lives Matter is like,
Ooh,
don't say that. I don't know that person.
Yep. Don't say that. That's not going to help our case.
No,
That's the opposite of what we're trying to say.
and they're not the only like groups out there, right? There's groups
No.
for every one of
No.
them has their own
There's-
thing like that, and it's again,
There's a very
yeah,
there's a very vocal and very loud minority in those
Mm-hmm.
groups that say stuff like that. That say like fuck white
Well,
people, kill all
everybody's
white
like
people,
that.
kill all the
Even
police,
religion's got
all
that. You've got those
Yeah.
zealots, you know, like even in religion, you know, that's like
Well, yeah, you
Burn 'em
got
all.
the televangelists. you got your Bill Hagees and Joel Osteen,
Yeah.
and then you got your Westboro Baptist, which really took it to the extreme with that.
so all groups have
in
it.
every group you do have it.
So,
The unfortunate thing is on the news and on social media, it's those loudest people that are getting the most attention.
yep, which negatively
ruining-
brings it.
they're ruining the people that actually go out there in good faith. These good faith actors, they're ruining their reputation by equating the good faith actors with these very loud vocal minorities that are saying this fucked up shit like kill all fucking pigs and all that.
Yar. Hold on. Texting Keith one more time. Get him to pull up, get on, and.
But see, that's the thing. That's also an intentional thing that that law enforcement organizations in the past have done to derail the messages and trying to think the God damn it, the influences and the public perception of certain groups like the Black Panther Party who were standing up with guns and stuff like that, you know, for a good reason. They were good faith actors. Most of them were good faith actors.
Yeah, you remember.
And the FBI, you know, and the government ran a fucking smear campaign against this organization simply because these guys were not willing, and men and women were not willing to fall in line and bend the fucking knee to the United States government.
You remember there's that real famous part, or scene, photos and video of the Black Panthers standing outside a polling booth. And they were doing that to protect voters, to allow them to go in and vote.
Yes.
White or black, it didn't matter. They wanted them to go in because they were afraid.
To exercise their right. Yes.
But the news stated that they were intimidating and trying to keep...
Intimidating voters, intimidating white voters and all this stuff.
That's not what they were there for. They were there to protect the fact because groups were trying to keep the black people from voting. And it's all, again, social media and the news, man. They messed...
First of all, they were exercising their right to fucking bear arms.
Yep.
They were exercising, and to protect. They were using their right to bear arms to protect voters' rights to go to the polls.
Exactly, and it's just like just we were talking earlier about this Black Panther movie and all that, and the news articles about how they're all bad. In certain news articles, you know, and like you looked up Indiana Jones, right? Oh, it's in trouble. They put that out there because they know that someone's going to go read it because they want to see what's going on.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though there's nothing in... you go read that article, there is probably no hard evidence or proof of anything in there except for maybe someone saying something from a pre-screen that's not a finalized product. Yeah. And again, it's the media and social media turning it to get the view.
And history over time changes because more facts come out about those things that, you know, gives people a new light and new perspective on what was going on in that era. You know, and that's how we know, like, the Black Panther Party was being unfairly fucking targeted as a terrorist organization, as bad acting organization and all that stuff by the FBI and the CIA and the government and all this stuff because, you know, these documents had been leaked and these documents had been, you know, out. And now we know that, you know, that this was a smear campaign and that they, you know, were not bad actors, that they just wanted fair elections. They wanted to be treated fairly, and they wanted to be seen as equals.
Yeah, that's fair.
They wanted to protect their fucking community.
Their fucking people.
From crooked fucking racist cops.
Yeah, exactly. Again, welcome to History of TikTok, or podcast.
TikTok. Welcome to the History Podcast. But no, I mean, this is all pop culture. This is, I mean, it's...
Well, absolutely, because it's influencing, even this new Black Panther movie is, you know, the white
Exactly,
people
the
are
Black
still
Panther character-
called colonizers. They're still, it's, it's bringing in information and opening something. Yes, it's a movie, it's a comic book movie, but there's still some truth to some of the things that are said in it.
Well, I mean, the writers, and artists that have been working on these titles for decades, based a lot of this stuff off of what was going on
Stan Lee,
at that
Jack
time.
Kirby. I mean, they created Black
Yeah.
Panther.
Yeah.
Two Jewish white men.
look, the movements in the X-Men and stuff like that
Same thing.
are all based on like the civil rights movement.
They wanted a way to teach kids stories about being fair and nice to other people without being boring, because back in that day, you had the Bible and you had, novels. Yeah. Kids aren't reading any of those. You needed comic books to get attention. That's
pretty colors.
And they still do it today. I mean, look, Pride Month, they bring out the Pride books. They bring out, characters and during.
And look, and they're creating, characters in this sphere. They're creating
for everybody.
LGBTQ characters and all that stuff, so that kids and people who read comic books that may identify as those things, that here's someone that's like you, that's doing good for the world. And I think that's ultimately, the biggest lesson that we should be taking away from that stuff is that we need to be doing more good for the world.
Yes. Read more comic books. That's how we do it.
Read more comic books.
Speaking of comics,
read more comic
we're
books.
Switch over here. And his last thing I got.
So you got some more that came in graded inside?
I did. So I've got Halo Uprising, #1.
Nice.
So this is based on the Halo video game. So there's 2 Halo books. There's this one, and then there's the graphic novel, which came out first, which is the first appearance of Master Chief in comic book form. But I got this one in.
Nice.
Pretty badass.
Nice.
I got this one signed by Peach Momoko. She's an artist. This is X-Men #1. From 2021, so this is like volume 4 or something, when they rebooted. But this is an exclusive variant. It's got Polaris on the front.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So she drew.
Yeah, I remember her from X-Force. Yeah. She kind of started out in X-Force.
Yeah, so Peach Momoko does a lot of watercolor painting on her stuff, and that's her signature right there. Okay. She's in Japan. She signs her name in Japanese.
Awesome.
And so this comic book I got through Marvel Unlimited. It says the subscription where I get the digital books. Well, once a year they send you an exclusive book that's only available through that.
That's awesome.
So this is that one, signed.
That's cool. Hell yeah. Badass.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool book. This is Batman 108, which is the first appearance of Miracle Molly, which is her right there. So that's not a major key. Okay. Not a very expensive book.
I've never heard of that character.
Yeah, she's new.
Never heard of that. But I know that Batman has a huge, huge rogues gallery. Yeah.
So this is the first appearance of her. Just like hold on. Joker's got a new girlfriend, which is a Punchline. So, right, because Harley's done with Joker.
Because he just fucking hit her. That's why he calls her Punchline. He just beats her.
Let's see. This is Batman and Spawn from 1994.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. The classic. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see how young Todd McFarlane is on the back.
I believe that I have that or have had that at one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen this one with your books before, so. It's a classic. It's a one-shot. I got this one. It's a 9.8.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude.
Yeah, classic. Well, they just redid it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't hear about
they
that.
just released a Batman Spawn comic book, and they got all these famous artists, including Todd McFarlane. There's 14 different covers.
Who? Who? Todd McFarlane? Never heard of him.
This is Godzilla versus King
Ghidorah,
Ghidorah. Clayton Crane cover. He paints a lot.
Nice.
He paints a lot of his covers. I'm actually about to send this one off to get signed by him.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a badass cover, man. It's the only Godzilla book he's ever done.
Cool. Nice.
2 more. So this book's called Geiger.
Smas.
It's about this guy who's got these powers, right? He's like a human Geiger counter.
Is he like Dr. Manhattan?
No. Well, no. He doesn't have those powers, but he gets angry and he like emits a radiation and like burns everybody.
Okay.
So this actually just got optioned for a TV show.
Kind of like that short story that we've
Yeah.
been working on for the better part of a decade now.
So this is done by Jeff Johns, who also is known for like doing Batman and Green Lantern and stuff like that. So Geiger. So this just got optioned for a TV show, which is pretty cool. Get that in the 9.8.
Is that going on Netflix too, like Sandman, or is that just going to go on?
I don't know who optioned that one.
Discovery.
Yeah, I don't know who did that one.
Yeah.
And the last one is another Peach Momoko.
Oh, okay.
This
nice.
is
I like that classic Ghost Rider.
Yeah, this is the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. The one with the car where he's got the Challenger.
Oh yeah.
It's like the third.
That's not the classic Ghost Rider, but it looks very similar to the classic Ghost Rider. Like,
but it's Peach Momoko, so it's all like watercolor, just badass cover, man. I love that color, that cover.
That's the one I have. I have the Lego Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider one. It's got his car.
It's just fucking cool, dude. Like I love that cover. So yeah, that's what I got in so far over this last, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. I've still got like 30 books there. They've been there since like January, so once they're done, they'll come in and we'll just do another big unboxing of comic books. I got the ones coming in are some pretty big books, so I'm excited. Like the
comic books.
First appearance of I've got like a first appearance of Green Goblin. I've got a first appearance of Sauron from the X-Men. Actually, I got 2 copies of that one in there.
The Savage.
Yeah, dude. All sorts of books. First Nova from
when fucking Charles Xavier could walk and shit.
Yeah. It's Mr. Sinister. I got a first appearance of Mr. Sinister in there. First Apocalypse I've got in there.
I have the New Mutants, the issue where he's first introduced, and then the issue afterwards where you actually find out that it's Apocalypse. Like I have those 2 issues of the New Mutants in my comic book collection. I know I have them.
Hell yeah. Roadhouse.
Hell yeah. Roadhouse.
Keith slept in. He puts his phone on Do Not Disturb, so all the messages and shit that we do doesn't get to him.
Yeah.
Just be like a normal human and just leave your fucking phone on, so when we call you for a podcast, you answer.
I do not disturb for like most stuff, but like, you know, family members like you guys
get
or
through.
my dad, mom, whatever, like they go through because, you know, like if you're calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's probably a pretty good fucking reason.
Exactly. Yeah, Keith. Jesus Christ. Oh, Exorcist. Did I tell you about that? The
Exorcist.
The show that's coming?
Yes. I think we mentioned
movies,
it on a previous
3
podcast.
movies. It's the guy that did Halloween is making the Exorcist series. Okay.
Yeah. I think you mentioned that on a previous podcast. It might have been last week, the one that hasn't been published yet.
Oh, it might have been the Halloween one. Yeah, I was trying to do some cool shit on there, and it was taking too long, so I might just not do the Halloween shit and just post it. I was gonna have like ghosts like coming like around the background and shit, and
the spooky,
yeah, and I was like, man, it's taking forever because I gotta like hand animate those things through, and I was like, this is taking fucking forever to do. So I might just like scrap that and just post it like I normally do.
Yeah, or just put like a jack-o'-lantern in like
That's
the
true.
corner.
Maybe I'll just do like a little glowing jack-o'-lantern.
You do like a little thing. Yeah, you do like a little thing. Just
But I had like
spoopy edition.
I had like a scene of like a headless horseman that was like running across the screen and shit. Like it was gonna be cool, but I'm like, dude, it's gonna take me 8 hours to fucking animate all this stuff because you have to do like each movement. So I don't know. I'll get that up. This one will be up pretty quick and fast. So because all I got to do is put the logo right there where the
logo
Craigbot is.
Yeah,
and then this is done. So quick and easy. I'll leave in the intermission where I was flying around my Batwing.
Flying around a back wing and you're playing with Yak.
Yeah, I was like, intermission time. All right. Well, I guess that's it, man. We're at like 2 hours and 30 minutes on the dot.
Hey, there you go. Bam.
You're welcome, America. We did this.
Yeah, America.
You. In Rambo.
Yeah. Thank us for our service of podcasting.
Thanks for letting us talk at you about shit you probably didn't even want to hear. But you know what? We did it anyway because we love you.
We love you.
We love you.
This week on Sensual Tech Talk.
All right. I'm Nick Zilla.
I'm Mark Becker.
This is Pop Culture. Thought the dog was behind me. Pop Culture Kick. Thank you for joining us.
Pop Culture Pick.
I got distracted. Squirrel.
What is the most unattractive male first name in the English language?
What you just said,
Keith.
is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Most of all, fuck you!
That's all, folks.